Chinese tourists screaming on mountain. You've just got to be prepared for people. Do you know why we're not as blown away? Because it's incredibly noisy. I don't want to do anything. It's too much.
中国に強い憧れを抱いていたカップル。周囲の反対を押し切り長年の夢だった中国旅行へ旅立ちます。
We are going to China. We're in our first Chinese restaurant.
Just have a bite.
しかし、到着して最初の食事から違和感を覚えます。期待外れの料理に加え、どこへ行っても現地の人からじろじろと見られる異常な視線に戸惑いを隠せません。
The only thing that's strange to me is that we are getting stared at.
居心地の悪さを避けるため、彼らは早朝から行動を開始することにしました。
We're getting a bit tired of early mornings. We've had a lot of them here in China, but unfortunately, due to the crowds, most of the time for distractions, you gotta get up early to beat the crowds. And every single time.
しかし、その努力も虚しく中国の観光地は常に人だらけ。遠くから景色を眺めることしかできません。人混みで列という概念がなく、前後から激しく押され、肘打ちをされる始末。彼らにとって地獄のような体験となりました。
I have just been shoved with elbows, like in my waist, shoved to try and get a main viewpoint. I don't know if the other pits will be probably the most hellish tourist site I've ever been to so far.
念願のカルガン海に到着し、ワクワクしていた2人ですが、ここでも残酷な現実が待っていました。絶景に感動するどころか山頂で叫びまくる観光客の騒音にうんざり。
I gotta say, it's pretty sick. But we're not as blown away as we thought we'd be.
But do you know why we're not as blown away? Because it's incredibly noisy. There's so many people.
It's just insane.
You've just got to be prepared for people. The noise thing got to me today. I think Mount Hua was big enough that it didn't really impact it, but this was
It's tough.
Tough, yeah. All right. Chinese tourists screaming on mountains when it should be a very insular experience. I just thought that was so interesting. Us Europeans would go to a mountain for solitude, and maybe that speaks to the history here of communism. We're at the hot pot restaurant, and I noticed as soon as I walked in I couldn't really breathe properly, and it's because everyone is smoking cigarettes. I don't understand how this is still a thing. I'm burnt out and I don't want to do anything. It's too much.
さらにレストランでは室内にもかかわらず全員がタバコを吸っており、息もできないほどでした。限界に達しすっかり心が折れてしまったカップル。ここで中国に10年以上滞在した元外交官が中国の真実について語り始めます。
Then you're going to struggle in China is the culture. It's saving face, even being dishonest to cover your own back or to get out of social engagements. This is very unusual for Europeans and especially people like Germans who are extremely direct and frank. The idea that you could just lie and be dishonest to cover yourself or to get out of an arrangement is something very unusual. And just on every level, the culture in China is extremely different. It's more of a conformist society. There's more emphasis on the collective rather than the individual. Stare at people, invade their personal space, and even pick up items out of their shopping trolley. I've experienced all of these things. And you're really going to struggle to live in China. And this is kind of one of the big reasons why I don't anymore, is the annoying habits of Chinese people. And this is tied into the point about cultural differences, but it can just be quite wearing. I was there for 10 years and it just starts to wear on your nerves when people are extremely loud, they spit, they let their kids pee in trash cans or on the street, they don't queue, there's pushing, you know, old grannies will barge you out of the way at a roadside food stall. It's just a bit basic, some of the behavior, some of the habits.
Everyone smokes and they smoke inside. That was shocking to me. I'm from London, I live in New York. I'm not one who's shy or disturbed or annoyed by cigarette smoke. Like, that is the life in New York. I have smoked cigarettes like I'm not bothered by cigarette smoke, but I was flabbergasted at how much people were smoking, but most importantly that people were smoking inside. Like even I was in a hotel and my hotel room was like non-smoking, and I think my hotel room floor was non-smoking, but I would still see cigarette butts like on the floor inside the hotel, which was crazy to me. In like performances, I went to go see this like live performance, and there were people just smoking inside during the live performance, in the lobby of restaurants. It happens everywhere.
元外交官が最も驚いたのは禁煙のホテルやレストラン、さらには電車の中でも平気でタバコを吸う人の姿でした。
Right under my table, they smoke inside some trains. I had to move to another part of the train when I went to Zhangjiajie because some people were smoking. Taxi drivers sometimes smokes too, and I heard some people smoke in their houses. That one I don't care, it's your house, you do you. I don't think I would have survived. Fun fact that kind of surprised me when I came to China. Making the line is sometimes kind of abstract to some people here, especially for old people. They just love to cut the line, and I noticed that if one person cuts the line, a lot of people are just going to follow the movement and do the same, which easily turns to something quite chaotic. Before coming here, I had this idea of Chinese people being into collectivism, like okay, we're all in this together, let's make things easy for everyone. But in public space, that's where the so-called individual...
さらなるカルチャーショックは至る所で痰を吐く行為や使用済みのトイレットペーパーを流さずにゴミ箱に捨てるという不衛生な習慣でした。
When you came to China?
Probably the spitting, because like in my first city in Cebu, we used to ride a lot of the e-bikes, so I did get spit on my foot a couple of times about like just people riding their bike and like casually like spitting. And
everywhere you go, people will take pictures, they'll take videos, they will touch your hair, they will touch your skin, because it's probably the first time that they're seeing a black person. Stupid. We don't flush toilet paper. Even if you poo, you don't flush. You just throw it in the bin, which is disgusting. Oh, as you flush it, oh, we don't flush. You just when you finish, you just put it in the trash can. Disgusting.
中国でどん底の失望を味わった2人はアジア旅行自体を諦めかけますが、すでにチケットを買っていたため予定通り次の目的地日本へ向かいます。日本に到着した瞬間、これまでの悪夢が嘘のように別世界が広がっていました。
Our minds shifted to stillness. It was actually a very special experience, and one that Tim and I won't forget. We're in downtown Kyoto, and it is one of the most magical places we've both ever been, I think. Would you agree?
It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's just incredible to get a glimpse of what historic Japan might have looked like. I don't know if you can make out, but on the other side of the bank are historic looking wooden houses framed by the sakura, and I honestly can't really believe it. I am so excited. We have arrived at a traditional ryokan. We've just got back from an evening onsen, and now we are ready for bed in our traditional ryokan. We're on our futons on the floor, and it is surprisingly comfortable.
It's very nice.
京都の美しい街並みと伝統的な旅館の快適さに彼らは深く感動します。中国では食事のたびに苦痛を感じていたため、日本での食事には大きな期待が寄せられます。
So we're going to bring you along to this experience and see if Kobe beef is worth the hype, but more importantly, this is Japanese wagyu with garlic and wasabi. Oh my god. No, I can't. That's so good. That's amazing.
Yeah?
You have to try that.
Wow, it just melts. Like it
Yeah.
dissolves. Wow.
Oh my god.
It was actually absolutely incredible. I'm really glad we tried it. We spent a lot of money. But it was worth it.
神戸牛や本場の豚骨ラーメンを味わい、人生最高の食事と大絶賛。彼らがようやく笑顔を取り戻せて本当に良かったです。
Each year in Fukuoka, excellent, absolutely excellent. We both agree, we both love the ramen. Best ramen we've had in Japan so far.
さらに姫路城や二条城を訪れ、細部まで計算された美しい日本の建築技術に圧倒されます。
It is nothing short of spectacular. Behind me you can see the original castle, which mostly dates to around 1601 to 1609. The most amazing fact is that this castle has survived earthquakes, wars, and also extensive bombing of World War II, which actually destroyed most of this that you can see. Definitely worth a visit.
We just found out that actually castles like the Nijiazhou castle here behind me have not relied on any mortar or other adhesives to build their stone walls. It's actually all just dry stone. It's built using a technique called ishigaki. The rest is literally just stones on a brick wall stacked together. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
先ほどの元が移行官も日本での生活について語ります。彼が強調するのは日本人の驚異的な礼儀正しさと高いサービス精神です。
The first thing I noticed after moving to Japan was the incredible level of politeness. And I had always thought of the UK as a polite country, but the Japanese take things to an absolutely whole new level. My mum came over to visit and she was in a wheelchair, and on many occasions people just went out of their way to help her. We went into a Starbucks and the girl came from behind the till. She ran out, opened the door, helped me get my mum inside. And this is just one of many instances where people are incredibly polite in Japan. I always saw the UK as a polite country before, but after coming back from Japan, this had changed because they had set the bar to a completely new level. The second amazing thing about Japan is the degree of service. It doesn't matter if you're in a McDonald's, if you're in a Starbucks, if you're in a public toilet, wherever you may be, the people working there take pride in their jobs, take their work very seriously, give you incredible service, and this really puts the UK to shame. When you come back to the UK, people don't seem to enjoy their jobs, they're badly presented, they don't have any enthusiasm, and especially in the service industry, they give you a very bad customer service experience. So in Japan, this was amazing. The level of service is truly excellent, and it kind of puts the UK to shame by comparison. The third point, which is somewhat related, is the Japanese work ethic, and you see this across all sectors and areas, as I said, whether it's in the service industry, even in McDonald's, or whether it's with tradesmen, skilled manual laborers, in companies, wherever you are, there is just an intense work ethic, and it's very impressive. And by comparison, the UK looks pretty slovenly. The UK work ethic looks very weak compared to Japan. And that's not really a criticism of the UK in some ways, because to be honest, apart from maybe Germany, pretty much anywhere in the world is going to look like it has a pretty slovenly work ethic compared to Japan. The fourth point is somewhat related to the last, and that is the level of discipline in Japan. People are extremely disciplined, and you see this even with little children walking to school in winter in shorts. They wear shorts all year round. They are tough. There is a level of toughness in the country, and it is impressive. And this goes throughout the whole society, and it comes across in some of the areas that I also talked about, like the service industry and stuff. People are well presented, well turned out. They have standards. It's related to a high level of standards across the country, and that goes for personal presentation, personal hygiene, how people conduct themselves. There is a high standard across the country, and also it's interlinked with this high level of personal discipline, which I very much respect. And by comparison, the UK most definitely is not disciplined. It is pampered, it is spoiled by a government which gives out a lot of benefits. It looks weak, unhealthy, badly presented, slovenly. So I really think the level of discipline that they have in Japan is something that's very admirable. The fifth striking comparison between the UK and Japan is the level of safety. I went to Tokyo on my first trip to Japan, and I saw all these cell phones on the table in Starbucks, and I didn't understand what that was about. I couldn't understand why people wouldn't just be snatching them up and running off with them like they would do probably in London. And it was people were putting down their cell phones to actually hold their place while they went up to get their drink. So people were using cell phones as placeholders, even in the capital city, in Tokyo. So this is kind of an incredible eye-opener for me, and the level of personal safety in Japan is really amazing. The sixth comparison is to do with cleanliness, and this is related again to levels of standard, discipline, work ethic, all that kind of stuff. Cleanliness in Japan is incredible. I would get up in the morning and go for a run to the gym, and I would see people up at 5, 6 a.m. hosing down the pavements outside their shops and their apartments, cleaning the pavements, cleaning the sidewalks. and just keeping the place very tidy. You would often see older people weeding public hedgerows and green areas, cleaning out ditches. It's all linked to this level of social cohesion and discipline and personal standards, and it just makes the place extremely clean, very well maintained, and it makes it a pleasure to be there. And by comparison, the UK looks like an absolute dump, especially recently, where councils are not giving money to even cut hedgerows or collect garbage. This makes it even more striking, the comparison between the UK and Japan in terms of cleanliness, whether you're talking about public toilets, even restaurants, whatever it is. The UK looks grubby and dirty to many countries by comparison, but even more so to Japan, which is probably the cleanest country in the world and has the highest standards for cleanliness.
カフェのテーブルにスマホを置いたまま席を離れても盗まれない圧倒的な治安の良さと腸の隅まで行き届いた清潔さは世界最高レベルだと絶賛しています。いかがでしたか？中国と日本のあまりにも対照的なリアルな体験。ぜひコメント欄で皆様のご意見をお聞かせください。今日もご視聴ありがとうございました。